Welcome to Spotlight on Concealed Carry. I'm LaShanda McCuin. Joining us today is Tracy Smith, attorney with Brewer and Lorman in Dallas. She just completed participation in a Richland College town hall meeting, which can be viewed in its entirety on richlandstudentmedia.com. Tracy is joining us today for further discussion on the legal aspects of concealed carry on campus. I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, give us a little background about your aspect in the legal field.
Well, I went to law school at Columbia. I've been practicing attorney for 8 years, litigation mostly, but I also do a wide variety of legal matters for my business clients.
Okay. So what is the campus concealed carry law?
Well, concealed carry has been legal in Texas for decades. And by concealed carry, I mean that anyone who applies for and is granted a license to carry, or what used to be known as a CHL, they can carry a weapon on their body concealed, out of the plain sight of people. Last year, open carry was passed, which allows people to, as the name implies, openly carry a handgun. However, that is illegal on campus, even after passage of what is being called campus carry. What campus carry is it allows those license holders to carry a handgun on campus grounds and into certain buildings that haven't been designated no carry zones.
Okay. So what is the history of this law?
In the early 2000s, there was one, maybe two states who had already passed some campus carry legislation, but they were kind of lone stars, I guess you'll say. And then after the Virginia Tech massacre in 2007, you started seeing a lot more legislation introduced. Some of it failed, but at least 9 states, I believe it may be 10, now have some sort of campus carry legislation. Some of them are mandatory, like Texas, meaning that if you are a public school, you cannot opt out of it. Others are discretionary, meaning that the school can choose for themselves, but Texas is a mandatory state.
Okay. Do you think this will increase the violence on college campuses?
Personally, I don't, and that is a very controversial topic. It's been highly debated on both sides. Some people think it will make it less safe on college campuses because you will have more guns on campus. Others think that it could potentially result in someone preventing active shooters from killing people or killing more people, so they think that it will make campuses safer. For the most part, campuses who have implemented this a year ago are reporting kind of business as usual. They're not reporting a lot of violent incidents or really any violent incidents at this point. There have been maybe a couple accidental discharges and things like that. But I think for the most part, it's not going to have much of an impact. You're talking about a law that requires you to be at least 21 to have a license. That knocks a lot of college students out of eligibility already. So then the students who are 21 and over, they're still going to have a relatively small portion of those who choose to get the license and then also choose to carry after they have the license. So I think it probably won't have much of an impact.
Okay. So why do you think it's only permitted on Dallas community colleges and not large universities? And
actually it is. It went into effect a year ago for 4-year universities. College campuses were given a little more time, so it just went into effect for 2-year or community colleges this year.
Okay, good to know. Okay, have there been any incidents in Texas campuses that you're aware of?
I had read about one accidental discharge that did not result in an injury. So if you're talking about large school shootings and things of that nature, those would have been widely reported in the media. I did talk to some of the campus officers before our event today, and they said they had they had heard of a few other incidents, but again, nothing that resulted in injury to anybody.
Okay. Okay, do students need to be concerned for their safety with this new law?
Again, I think probably not. I think there was some sort of worry that this would result in this horde of students that's all carrying guns, and that you're widely increasing the number of guns on campus. But for the reasons I said before, I just don't think that's going to happen. It's going to have a relatively minor impact. I tend to think, and again, it's a controversial subject, but you're probably needing to worry less about people who actively go and try to get a concealed carry license and legally carry their weapon, rather than the people who are coming onto campuses and meaning to do harm, who are probably, clearly they're not following the law anyway.
Yes, yes. That's a wrap for this edition of Spotlight On. Thank you, Tracy, for visiting us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm LaShanda McCuin, and we'll see you next time on Spotlight On.